Ukraine's armed forces claim to have destroyed 42 Russian tanks and military vehicles in the eastern region of Donetsk. A video shared by Ukraine's 58th Motorized Brigade appears to show the wrecks of the vehicles. A caption accompanying the video reads, "It seems that in recent weeks, Putin's generals have been making a large-scale sacrifice to their hellish gods, throwing new forces and equipment to their death. The result is dozens of burned-out Russian tanks and armored vehicles," it continues. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry reshared the video on X, formerly Twitter, writing, "A line to hell. Dozens of Russian tanks and combat vehicles were destroyed on a small section of the front in the Donetsk region." Fighting has intensified in the Donetsk region in recent months as Russia pushes to take more ground around the already captured city of Avdiivka. Russian forces are currently targeting the strategically important city of Chasiv Yar, just to the north. Ukrainian officials believe that Russia is now intent on seizing the regions of both Donetsk and Luhansk in 2024. The International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS, think tank reported in February that Russia's campaign around Avdiivka had resulted in significant losses to both equipment and personnel. The report said that at that time, Russia had lost 8,800 armored fighting vehicles since it launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022. The Director General of the IISS also said in February that Russia had likely lost more than 3,000 tanks since the invasion began. To put that into perspective, Russia's battlefield tank losses are greater than the number it had when it launched its offensive in 2022, he wrote. Dutch open-source intelligence website Oryx puts visually confirmed Russian tank losses since the start of the conflict at just under 3,000. Russia's tally of personnel and equipment losses is closing in on 4 significant markers, showing the extent of the cost of Moscow's full invasion of Ukraine on its own forces, according to Kyiv's latest figures. Ukraine's defense ministry said on Saturday that over the previous day, Russia had lost 12 tanks, which takes the total over the course of the war to 7,366, only 134 shy of 7,500. Ukraine also said it had taken out 31 unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, putting the total number of destroyed drones at 9,611, only 389 short of the 10,000 mark. Meanwhile, Moscow's forces also lost another 27 armored fighting vehicles on Friday, for a total of 14,256, less than 900 away from the 15,000 mark. But Russian troop losses continue to mount up, with Kyiv's estimate of 1,260 casualties for Friday, being the 7th consecutive day this figure had topped 1,000. That includes both those who are killed and injured, and Kyiv says its estimate of both personnel and equipment losses are very approximate and do not claim to be particularly accurate. Getting an accurate figure of Russian troop losses is difficult, but French Foreign Minister Stéphane Séjourné said in an interview released on Friday that Paris estimates Russian casualties were 500,000, 150,000 of whom had been killed. What is all this for? He told independent Russian outlet Novaya Gazeta Europa. In short, there is no need. Russia has not updated its tally of losses since September 2022, when Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said was just under 6,000. Kyiv is often tight-lipped about its losses, although in a rare admission, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in February that 31,000 of his troops had been killed. However, Shoigu said on Friday that Ukraine's troop losses had surpassed 111,000, as he claimed that Russian forces continue breaking the enemy's system of strongholds along the entire line of contact. Russia's defense ministry said it has recently captured settlements around the town of Avdiivka in the Donetsk Oblast, which was seized in February. Shoigu announced the capture of 201 square miles of territory so far this year. This was higher than the figure of 155 square miles he had announced in April. Ukraine likely faces the approaching loss of a key eastern town to Russia, one of the country's top intelligence officials said. Not today or tomorrow, of course, but all depending on our reserves and supplies, Major General Vadim Skibitsky, the deputy head of military intelligence, told The Economist. Much of the town in question, Chasiv Yar, is little more than rubble after more than a year of bombardment, but its natural hilltop position has helped it serve as a staging ground for Ukrainian skirmishes on the Russian advance, helping block Russia's path to the last free cities of the Donetsk region. Chasiv Yar sits just to the west of Bakhmut, the doomed city that was pounded to nothing over almost a year of brutal siege until it finally fell in May 2023. Bakhmut was considered of minimal strategic value. By contrast, Chasiv Yar's high ground and proximity to important cities means huge potential gains for Russia. The town, formerly of about 13,000 people, is the key that will open the gate for exhaustive and long-lasting battles, military analyst Serhiy Hrabsky recently told the New York Times. Its capture would put in reach of Russian forces the headquarters of Ukraine's Eastern Command, Kramatorsk, and the key supply hub of Kostiantynivka, both of which contain large civilian populations, the outlet reported.